So why? Excuse me, let me... It's story time. Story time with Snap. Story time with Snap. Once upon a time, and by once upon a time, I mean the year was 2010. 2010, so 5 years ago. 5 years ago. My friends and I took a trip to Florida. My friends in high school. And we were like, this is going to be the best trip ever. Wait, who's trying to trick me? Who's trying to trick me? I don't care who's trying to trick me. Alright, so went to Florida. Alright, I live in North Carolina and I went to Florida. And we went to, first we went to, I'm just going to pause it and I'm going to tell this story so we can get it over with. Story time with Snap. Alright. So we went to Florida. I'm going to drop the controller on the ground. Went to Florida. We visited St. Augustine, which is this really pretty place with all these mangrove trees. And, oh no, she'll never be able to convince me that manatees are good. And this is why. So we went, the plan was to go to St. Augustine, then go to SeaWorld, and then go to Disney World. So we went to St. Augustine. It was nice. We went to SeaWorld. This is like 2 weeks after that whale had just eat that girl. And, which is really sad, sure. And so we went to the show with all the dolphins and the whales. And it was really just this like memorial to this girl that I don't know anything about. I just know she got nommed on by this killer whale. Heaven forbid a killer whale. It killed someone. This wild animal they keep in captivity and train to dance. It attacked a trainer and killed her, and that's really unfortunate and sad. But I didn't pay money to get in to SeaWorld to remember her. You know, like, does that make sense? Am I being heartless and cruel to say that I didn't pay admission fee to go in and like be sad and look at pictures of this dead girl that I didn't know anything about prior? Anyway, they still did a dance and it was fine, I guess, but it was still really kind of unfortunately sad. So that was the thing. However, there were other shows all day. That was like the big show. And then they have like little shows at little stages. I don't know if you've ever been to SeaWorld. Don't go. And well, they have a roller coaster. It's pretty cool. And they have Nautiluses, that you should go to see those. But don't go for that. Anyway, I'm sure it's fine now. They probably quit remembering her a while back. And so anyway, it started, you came to have fun, not a funeral memorial service. Completely understandable. Great. All right, so we were there, and it started getting cloudy, and I've never really been to, this is the only time I've ever been in Florida in my life, so I can't really say I understand Florida weather. And thank you, Fenris. Being heartless is, yeah. So these clouds roll in, we're walking around, and then the sky just opens up. Just like that's the rain. And worst rain I've ever seen in my life. It literally was like taking a shower, except you were outside, and instead of shower water, you got nasty Florida rainwater. Not cool. And so everything is shut down. All the shows, everything is canceled. Can't do anything. So, well, it's like rain. They're calling for rain. No. This is before the rain starts. They're calling for this terrible rain, so they cancel all the shows. So we're walking around, and we go into the manatee exhibit. This is where it gets good. We go into the manatee exhibit, and they have this cute little video where this 6-year-old girl and her dad are in this boat, and they're traveling down the water, and they are in a river, and the dad's like, "Oh, hey, it's a manatee," and the girl's like, "What's a manatee?" And then they tell you about manatees, and it's like the video. The sky just opened up. Yeah. So the video is literally only a minute long, and it loops. It like plays, and then there's like 30 seconds of like a picture of a manatee, and then it plays again. So every minute and 30 seconds, it's this loop. And we go in, we watch the video, and then there's like a tank with some stupid manatees, and they're like eating lettuce or something. I don't know what they do. And so we're like, okay, whatever. And then we hear the and the sky has just opened up. Now, I wish I could pull up a map, and I honestly don't even know if it's still accurate. But if you think of a giant square, think of a giant square. Let's say this game. Let's say the game is SeaWorld. I'm trying to. How can I do this? Map. Can I like move the hand around? All right. So Mario's in SeaWorld. Mario's in SeaWorld. Okay. This is SeaWorld. You know, we can say Bowser's Castle, the volcano, all this is SeaWorld. The manatees are like way down here in the middle of the ocean. Like where Almastar is, that's where the manatees are in SeaWorld. You have to walk like a freaking mile away from SeaWorld to get to these stupid manatees. It's not even fun. Not even fun. So we walked all the way to Manatees because it was nothing else was working. Everything was shut down, and we walked all the way across the world to go to these stupid manatees. And then the sky opens up, and it's like pouring down water. A map within the game. You know, you got to use what we have. So it's pouring down water, and we're like, hey, you know, we're inside. We're inside. Hey, Prince, you came in story time. This is why I hate manatees. You came in just right at the climax of the story. So we're in this manatee exhibit, and we're way down here. Mario's up here having fun, having fun at SeaWorld, except not really. And we're down here in the ocean with the stupid manatees. And the sky opens up, and it's raining so hard. The manatee exhibit's like down in a dip in the ground, and there's like a grate that can catch water. And the water is coming in so fast, it's rushing over the vent, over the grate, the drain, and it's just filling up. Like, if we stay there much longer, we're going to have to swim out of the manatee exhibit because we're underground. We're going to be swimming with those darn manatees, and there's just water pouring in. And then the SeaWorld employees come and they're like trying to get this water out of the floor because it's just pouring in, and we have to sit there. We have to sit in that room with that minute and 30 second long video of what's a manatee? Oh, manatees. What's a manatee? Manatees. 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours of what's a manatee. We were going crazy. We couldn't leave. Nothing else in Florida. Nothing else in SeaWorld was even operating. All the shows were closed, and this was the only shelter. Because think about it. We're way out here. We're not swimming. Out to SeaWorld. We're not going back. No, it's too far gone. It's too far away. So what we end up doing is we just sat there and waited on the rain, and the rain doesn't stop. And then we get a text from the teachers at school, and they're like, hey, it's time to meet us at the bus. And we're like, we're stuck down here in freaking Timbuktu with the manatees. I hate these things. I know what a manatee is, and if that girl asks me one more time, I'm going to kill everyone in this room. And so we leave, right? We have to because the bus is going to leave because we were with school. It was a school trip. And you're highlighting it. All right, sounds great. I don't even know if you can. Anyway, I'm finishing the story. So we have to run. This is the craziest. Whatever. We'll figure it out, Twitch. This is the craziest rain I've ever experienced in my life. So we're running through a shower. We're taking a shower and we're running at the same time through everything in between the manatees and SeaWorld, which is nothing. There's like a little ice cream shop, but who wants ice cream? So we're running, and there's this like wall, and we have to jump over the wall. It's like a rock wall, and when we do, there's water up to our thighs. It looks like a regular puddle, and we like take 2 steps and we sink down into this water. It's up to our thighs. We're trudging through this water. It's like being in like Nam. It's like being in the war, and we trudge through and we climb out and we make it back to this bus. We are drenched from the thighs down. Everyone has had this terrible time. We all hate manatees. If anyone ever mentions a manatee, my blood pressure goes up. I can't stand it because I think of this story and I think of hearing that stupid video, that minute and 30 second long video over and over and over and over and over. What's a manatee? What's a manatee? Manatee. Manatee. I hate manatees. I hate them. And it's all their fault. And it was just, and you know what? At the end of that day, I had to wear those shoes. I was supposed to wear those shoes the next day in Disney World, but my tennis shoes were they were literally just completely soaked. I could not dry them. I put them over like the vent. I tried everything to dry these shoes. They were the only shoes I had other than flip-flops, and I'm not walking around Disney World all day in flip-flops because that's crazy. So you know what I did? It was like being in Nam. And so you know what I did? I took a hairdryer and I tried to use the hairdryer to dry my shoes, because they're wet because it's all the manatee's fault. And they melted my shoes. So I had this big hole. Not a big hole. It was it was like the size of like my thumbnail. It was about the size of my like whole thumb, not my thumb, like the whole top part of my thumb. Right on the top of my shoe, right over my toes. And you know what? I had to wear those shoes for 2 days with that big old hole in them. Oh, it was awful. Well, the hole wasn't that bad. It rained again and my socks got wet and it was sad, but Anyway, it's all because of the manatees. You're absolutely right, Twitch, and I hate them. Yeah, I have a melted shoe. I'm sad. I was wet up to almost my whole waist, and it's all the manatees' fault. So I do not like manatees. All right, so that's the end of the story. Thank you all for listening to my story. Follow me on Twitter, says the bot. Yeah. So now we can all hate manatees together. They're my least favorite animal in the world. Let's get back